Twitter and Instagram feeds. We're also posting more online content, and we're hosting online meetings such as this Zoom session. In this session, we're going to cover how the closure is affecting our circuit and online sales unit for our buyers and sellers. For those participating with a screen view, you'll notice that I'm sharing my screen. That's going to display a PowerPoint, which is just going to show bullet points of my conversation that you can follow along with. We're going to start by talking about circuit sales and how closing impacts members who receive the at-home circuits. Obviously, during this downtime, no multiple direct or club circuits will be mailed from headquarters. And currently we have over 700 regular circuits out in circulation. So this means the circuits are out in the mail stream. So it's important to check your mailbox often if you can. If you do receive a circuit, we ask that you process it as normal by going through, the books. Take your time, go through them, make your purchases you want, send your repurchases and your report to the APS, and mail your circuit on to the next recipient when you feel you can safely do so through the USPS. If you're the last person on the circuit, as normal, you'll go through, make your purchases, you'll submit your purchases to APS, and you'll return the circuits to the APS. Again, we're not asking anyone to make any unnecessary trips to the post office. If you're in an area ordered to stay at home or you're high risk, please do not worry about the circuits. Put them in a safe location until you can safely move them on with the Postal Service. Fines are being waived during this whole period. So again, it's important, you just hold them and stay home, stay safe. Clubs in receipt of a circuit, same thing. You are more than welcome to go ahead and return them to the APS or hold on to them for your next club meeting. It wouldn't hurt to contact staff. On this screen, I do show our email address and our phone number. Of course, the email circuits@stamps.org. Phone is 814-933-3803, the extension 231. Carol is available to get the calls, and she is monitoring all those emails. So that way the clubs can notify us, like I said, when their next meeting will be. It might be a while till and that's fine. But as soon as you know when it might be, the more information we have once we return it, it's just going to help us know where everything's at. Club fees, those new $10 club fees is associated with all the clubs, they will either be refunded or used towards next year. We'll work that all out together when we get back into full operations. While the circuits are not fully operational, if you folks want to shop for stamps, our online stamp store is open. So if you want to visit stampstore.org, we welcome you to do so. It is taking orders. To move on, the impact for sellers. Of course, we're asking our sellers at this point, do not send in new books at this time. It's a perfect time to work on getting some books ready to send in to us, but we ask that you just keep a hold of them until this situation passes. Those already en route will be received and properly stored at the American Philatelic Center. We do have someone there that is receiving the mail, and you can also track your packages. If you have a package you're concerned about that you mailed before all this began, check your tracking. I'm sure it'll show you that it is delivered to the APC and everything is fine. A very important question, which a lot of sellers have already asked me, what's happening with the checks? The seller checks will be delayed during this period, but it will be our priority when we reopen. We hope everyone understands there's a lot of moving parts with the books and stuff, and there's a large process we go through in order to even get the checks ready. We have to go through the process of retiring all the books and getting them ready to mail out, and then that's actually how the system knows what they need to pay you. So as soon as we can get back in the building and as soon as we can address it, it will be priority that we get the seller checks out as soon as we can. I also wanted to take this point to remind everybody that through the APS websites, sellers do have access to a My Circuit Books area where they can view a summary of books submitted and see the purchases to date. It's just a basic insight of how your material is selling. I do want to let you know it may not be 100% accurate at this time because obviously there are many books out in circulation. Payments through this situation are being delayed getting back in, so we're not documenting those. So it may not be 100% accurate, but it gives you a general idea of how your sales are going at this point. As I said, this would be a perfect time if you want to use time to prepare new books. We do have a web page in our circuit area that has categories in need. So you may want to check that out. That's at www.stamps.org/stamps needed. Again, you can look through the service area and you can find this on the web very easily. It will let you know a lot of the categories where we're in need. Orders for circuit book supplies, those are also being held. So if you do not have books at home to work on preparing some new books, unfortunately, you'll have to put those on hold. Okay, we're going to move into StampStore for buyers. Obviously, the StampStore is open for business. Orders are being accepted and payments processed. Order fulfillment will be done as soon as the staff returns and the APC reopens. The 30-day money-back guarantee still holds. The 30 days will not begin until the package is officially mailed and you have it. Stamp questions that are directed through the Ask a Question section on the site, they are being monitored and we are answering those that can be answered without physically going and pulling the stamp. Returns and refunds, those needing to initiate a return from a previous order, we are taking RMA calls. It's important, you know, because you do have the 30-day window there for the ones that were already sent out. So feel free to get a hold of us for an RMA request. You can send that to me at Wendy, W-E-N-D-Y, at stamps.org, or you can call in and access my phone, 814-933-3803, extension 270. For sellers for the StampStore, it's very similar to circuits. We ask that you hold new submissions until further notice. Those en route will be received and properly stored. Seller checks the same way with the circuits. Those are temporarily on hold and will be given priority when we get back. End of month extensions are being processed as normal. So if you have items that are coming up here at the end of March and you're thinking, well, I normally automatically have those extended to the 3rd year, they will be done. Actually, this afternoon, I will be working on those. So if you have 2-year extensions that are supposed to go to 3, they will be done later this afternoon. Sellers for StampStore, similar to circuits, they have access through My Stamps to view their item status, current sales, and they can change their prices at any time. If you're in need of supplies, of course, the submission forms are online. You can print those off anytime. We realize that the form with the black background may be a little harsh for your printer, so there is another copy out there that has a white background. Perhaps during this period that you need to print forms at home, might be best to use the white background. As far as I know at this point, clearbags.com is open for business where you can purchase the clear mounts that we recommend to be used. So you shouldn't have a problem with continuing to get your material ready. But again, hold them until we're back and can safely get everything. I'm sure some of you may have seen over the last couple of weeks, we've put some ads out. We've been talking in my one article, I mentioned that coming soon, we're going to have a new and improved StampStore. We're planning a relaunch. We're really excited about it. But at this point, with the pandemic, we're temporarily putting that on hold. We want to be able to, when we launch this, we want to give you our undivided attention. And right now, we're not in a position where we feel comfortable, and we just don't want. So we are going to postpone the relaunch for a few weeks, or potentially a month or so. We're not quite sure. So, but we'll keep you posted on that. package safety. I wanted to touch on that a little bit because I've had quite a few people asking me that question. Is it really safe for me to be touching these circuits when they're coming to my house? And what are you going to do when we're all back? Is it safe for us all to be handling all these things? So I went out and I tried to find some information. And one of the areas I found that the USPS made a statement on March 22nd that the CDC, the World Health Organization, as well as the Surgeon General, they've indicated that there is no currently evidence that COVID-19 is being spread through the mail. One report I did read, it said that tests led by the government scientists found that the virus could potentially live on cardboard for up to a day. But that was in a controlled lab conditions and not taking into consideration the varying weather conditions. The important thing to note is that even if it is on the mail, it would need to come and contact with your mouth or nose to cause infection. So it's very important through all this to just be constantly washing your hands. Even when you're going out and getting your mail and receiving your mail, wash your hands right away. That way you just eliminate any notion of it. But I really don't think at this point that mail is a problem. That's pretty much it for my presentation. I want to thank everybody for participating. And again, I put the contact information here. At this point, we can open it up to the floor to see what questions we may have.
Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, I've opened it up. If anyone has a question they'd like to ask, please go into the chat room and just tell me that you have something to ask, and I'd be happy to open up your microphone. I guess in the meantime, I'll also, I know that our executive director, Scott English, is on here. I'll unmute Scott's microphone if he has anything that he would like to add. Scott.
Thank you very much for that. I just wanted to listen in. I really do appreciate the support we've been getting from our members over the last couple of weeks. We know this is a trying time and there's a little bit of frustration, but we're doing everything in our power to serve our members as quickly and as aggressively as we can. Recognizing that the health and safety of the employees is very important to us. And while I'd love to have everybody here, we certainly do understand why the Commonwealth has shut down the building, and we're going to respect that and honor that. But whatever we can do to assist you in this time, we're going to stand ready to do. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
No questions at this point?
No, it doesn't look like it, Wendy. We should just wait a minute or two and see if
no problem.
Anyone wants to.
Maybe we covered it well enough, or.
Well, I'll correct that because I just have to find Marvin here who has a question. Let me unmute Marvin. Marvin, did you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me then?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I've never sold before, either in circuits or APS StampStore. I bought a few times, so now it looks like there's a good time to set up some things for sale. Just some basic questions, not knowing this before. Aside from the general obvious things of scarce items in excellent condition, are there any areas that you're flooded with, you don't want anything more of? Anything besides that list you posted that you're in best need for, US especially?
Well, as I mentioned through the presentation, we do have a page, and I'm going to I'm still sharing my screen, right? You all can see my screen?
Yes.
You can, okay. If you are on our homepage and you scroll over services, you can go down to buy and sell. We're going to take a look at how to sell with circuit books, stamps needed. This is going to give you a listing of countries currently needed for the circuit books, and a few countries down here that right now we do not need any more of because it is flooded. Mm-hmm. That may give you some general information there. Also, if you're new to it, any of the links here, you see, I mean, selling information, there's some really good information out here. It's basically, we can also send you a seller packet when we're back in, but it would be basically the same information on screen here. It gives you our terms of sale, tells you how to submit.
Right, yeah, I've gone through that. Very, very useful information. The pricing guidelines say like 40% to 60% of catalog value.
That's usually what's recommended to try to be competitive with some of the other sellers out there. Yeah.
Is that really realistic? That seems high in some cases, but obviously condition and scarcity affect all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. The condition is a big factor. Yeah.
Right, sure. Right, okay. Well, I don't want to take everyone's time, but thanks for this call. This is a good service.
Great, thank you, Marvin. Had a question about, Wendy, about wish lists. Is that all functioning as normal?
The wish list on the current StampStore?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. As
Okay.
far as I know at this point in time, yeah, there's nothing, the wish list should be working fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any issues with it. If somebody is having one, again, my email is there, wendy@stamps.org. I just, please, if there is anything wrong, give me an email, shout out, and we'll see what we can do to get things back in order.
Great. I've opened up MJM's microphone, had a comment about credit cards, PayPal.
Okay.
MJM, are you there? Well,
Maybe.
perhaps it was, I'll just read the comment that MJM made. In general, the card issuers do not permit the merchant to accept 100% payment if the merchant cannot promptly ship the goods. If the merchant knows shipment will be delayed, the merchant only can require a 50% deposit, then the balance on delivery or just before. I don't know why merchants would want to risk penalties or fees associated with such violations because times are so tough right now. PayPal with its longer refund period may be a better choice. That was the comment from MJM. Not sure.
No, I mean,
Okay.
we're taking full payments with, and we have a 30-day return policy once it is mailed. I mean, it wouldn't matter. I mean,
All right. Well, MJM, if
we're
you
gonna
have
stand by that.
if you have another comment, please reach out to Wendy individually. I'm going to open up Jerry Clifton's microphone now. Jerry?
Yes, I just wanted to let you know, and I know Scott's listening in, how great it's been to deal with StampStore. I'm fairly new. I've dealt with them since late January, early February. Everyone has been helpful if I've had questions. I've gotten things within 2 days to Delaware from State College. And I just wanted to give kudos to all the people involved. I want to give kudos particularly to Scott for answering some questions for me the other day. You guys are doing a phenomenal job in light of what we're up against.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate those thoughts. Any other questions?
Well, we're waiting for questions. I do want everybody to know, I'm still sharing my screen here. From our homepage, if you're on stamp.org.
By the way, your PowerPoint is still up. If you want to reference the website, you need to take that down.
My PowerPoint is still up. Am I sharing the web page now?
Yes, you are.
So then earlier when I was telling that gentleman where to go to find the stamps needed, you weren't seeing that?
Unfortunately,
Oh,
not.
well then we're going to do it again real
Yeah.
quick because we have the time. If you scroll over the services tab and go down to buy and sell. This page is going to give you information if you want to buy and sell through circuit sales is on this side. There's how to buy, there's how to sell, and online's on this side. If you go to sell, stamps needed is over here. You're going to see a listing here of countries needed. and there's countries that are not needed. Just to recap that. But what I was about to get into is I just wanted to point out from our homepage, all of you probably already know, one of the areas you want to go to quite often right now, they are featuring a lot of our news stories on here. If you go in anytime, you always want to go to your news page. They are constantly putting stuff up here. And right now, the social media team, they have all kinds of stuff going. They're organizing all these stamp chats. They have movie night every night. And like I said, all this news is out here all the time. I mean, it's just constant every day, something new's coming in. The same way, if you go under the community tab and see our social media, I know through our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Heidi and some of the other ones, they're really out there trying to keep everybody in touch. So constantly be checking in, and we're going to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. But our news feed is good to keep an eye on.
Thanks for the shout out. There's a lot of people who are working hard at providing all that content, including members who are helping with the stamp chats in particular. So thank you for pointing all of that out.
Yep.
Anybody else have any other questions?
I did talk a little bit about the new site relaunch, and I'm hoping to still do so. If you keep an eye out on these Zoom sessions, I'm hoping to have one. It won't be this week, maybe by next week. I'd like to have one about the StampStore relaunch, just to kind of give a little bit of a sneak peek. So if I'm able to do that, I will, and I'll make sure everybody gets an invite, but keep watching to see when that's coming, because I think you would enjoy seeing it.
Great. Anyone else? All right. Well, it sounds like everyone got a lot of great information from Wendy. Appreciate you being here. We are going to have a stamp chat at 3 o'clock this afternoon with Stacy Adam, who wrote an article for the March issue recently, talking about diversity in membership. So I hope that all of you will join us then. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, everyone. See you later.